Have you ever tried to manifest money while staring at a bill that you can't pay? Well, I know that I have, and if you're studying Neville Goddard and Abraham Hicks and Joe Dispenza and are still staring at bills wondering how you're going to manifest the money to pay for it, then I want you to watch this video because I'm going to share with you the exact process that I use to manifest our dream home, the money to pay for it, and what I'm teaching my clients to manifest very similar outcomes. So let's start with the most important idea about manifesting abundance, and this is what trips people up the most. Manifesting money is not about creating it out of thin air. It's about tuning your vibration to the version of you that already has the money. If you saw our bank balance the day before we moved into this house, and I told you we're moving into a house with a tennis court in LA, you would have said, Ramon, the men with the white coats are coming to take you away, so you better pack your bags. You see, the idea is there are infinite versions of you, infinite realities that exist. And when you tune your dial to the station of you that has the money shows up. See, according to the newest science, every possible outcome exists as an electromagnetic frequency. And your body is resonating at a certain frequency. When you tune your frequency to the frequency that already has the money shows up. And it begins showing up right now because everything is here and now. And the only reason you don't have the money yet is because you're not yet a vibrational match to the money. If you want to shift to that version of you as quickly as possible, download the Subconscious Reset. It'll take you through the process that people are using to manifest clients, money, and a whole lot of other good stuff. Links down in the description. You see, here's the deal. The instant your energy changes, three-dimensional reality begins to reflect it back to you because three-dimensional reality is like a mirror. And this energy is based on what you believe to be true, the thoughts that you think, the way that you feel, and what you actually physically do. Now, when we got the house, was it all rainbows and butterflies? Of course not. We were suddenly at a much higher vibration, and just like an airplane going to a new altitude, there was a lot of turbulence, a lot of sleepless nights. I remember staring at my wife one day, the day before our mortgage was due, and thinking, what in the world are we going to do? But because we redefined abundance and we followed the action steps in this video, the money always showed up. And it showed up in increasing quantities, which leads us to the idea of redefining abundance. So if you're watching this video, you want abundance, so we better be clear about what abundance actually is. Most people think abundance is money, and personally, I think that's a very limited definition of abundance. I love Bashar's definition, which is the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. You see, you could be given a gift. I remember one month in particular, we were about $200 short of our mortgage payment. And that day in the mail, we get a letter from a class action lawsuit that says, we filed in your favor and here's a $200 check. You could offer a trade like my friend Lenny, who gave his services to a friend who then later introduced him to a world champion in his sport that he then formed a business relationship with. Synchronicity is another form of abundance. You could be in the right place at the right time to meet the right person to make the right deal, as John DeMartini would say. Imagination is another form of abundance. I remember having a dream about this video idea that went on to get about 160,000 views in the first month and 10x'd my subscriber count. You see, these are all forms of abundance, and the idea is not to limit yourself to the one that you think is the only way to pay your bills. Because if you do, then you tune your vibration back into lack. We want to celebrate every form of abundance, especially the small ones. And ironically, when you open up to all the other forms of abundance, the money flows in much bigger quantities too. Now that we've got our bearings on this new vision of reality, let's get into the 4 action steps that I use to transform my life and how my clients are doing the same. Step 1 is to meditate before you pick up your phone. Now, this is huge for a lot of reasons. Obviously, your phone is just full of distractions. It's full of people that are doing really well. And it's full of people that want your attention. So just don't pick it up until you've meditated. The second reason this is important is because you have easier access to your subconscious mind first thing in the morning, because that's when our brain waves are slower, and that's when we can impregnate our subconscious mind with the idea of abundance and wealth. Your subconscious mind runs about 95% of your life, and if you reset your subconscious mind, link in the description, then it'll totally change your life. You'll automatically attract money. The third reason you want to meditate first thing in the morning is because you'll be acting from a new state of being. Now, as corny as it sounds, you don't attract what you want or what you need, you attract who you are. And if you want to attract more money and abundance into your life, then you've got to be abundant, and meditation will help you do that. Now, don't worry, we're going to get to actually manifesting the money here in a second. Now, the fourth reason you want to meditate is because you'll just be less reactive throughout the day. When you look at your bills and you feel that sense of lack and that sense of panic, you put yourself into a vibration of lack and panic. And unfortunately, that's the only thing that you can attract to you. So meditation will give you the separation between your thoughts and your emotions, and you can begin to redirect yourself in a more powerful way. Now let's get into actually making the money appear, and it's by following this formula that I learned from Bashar. Every moment that you can, act on your highest excitement, on your highest passion. Do it to the best of your ability. Take it as far as you can until you can't take it any further, with absolutely no insistence or assumption as to what the outcome should be, and stay in a positive state no matter what happens. Let's break down this formula and show you why it is the secret sauce to manifesting the money that you need. When you act on your passions, you attune your vibration to the energy of passion. And passion gives you more things to be passionate about. Excitement brings you more things to be excited about. And money is attracted to excitement. When you're in this state of joy and gratitude and inspiration and love, the only thing that can come to you are more reasons to feel that way. Now, the key to this is to do it to the best of your ability with no insistence on what the outcome should be. Now, this sounds like a paradox, but if you say, I'm going to act on my passion, Ramon, so that I can attract the money, that will not work as well as if you're working on your passion, doing the things that excite you just because you're excited to do it. It's like that unconditional love thing. When you give it freely, it always comes back. It's the absolute law of the universe. And the idea is to stay in a positive state no matter what happens, because circumstances are neutral, okay? You not having money, believe it or not, is not a bad thing necessarily, because it's led you to this video. It's led you to the point where you have to decide that you've got some subconscious stuff to clean out of the attic. And when you do that, you become a new person. So ultimately, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you to get to this point. Does that make sense? You have the ability to control what things mean, okay? Just because you don't have the money in the bank account that you need at the moment doesn't mean that's a bad thing, and that doesn't mean you automatically have to go into a negative state. So I hope that makes sense. Act on your passion, do it to the best of your ability with no insistence on the outcome, and stay in a positive state no matter what happens, and watch the money start to show up. Now, this is really important when we get to step 3, which is acknowledge all of the abundance that comes to you. You see, there is no question that when you're acting on the formula precisely, that the money is going to show up. The important thing now is that we acknowledge every time that it shows up. And we do it in this way. You might find a penny on the floor. You might get a call from someone that says, hey, I'm going to send you 20 bucks. It might be a check that you get from a friend just randomly out of the blue. What you want to do is understanding that you just manifested abundance. Don't gloss over this part, because it's the acknowledgement and the appreciation of the abundance that's coming to you now that will attract more to you. Don't go into the state of, okay, well, I still need $500,000, $5,000, $500,000. Don't do that. Just stay in the feeling of gratitude, and you'll be in the perfect vibration to receive more. Because as Dr. Joe Dispenza said, gratitude is the perfect state of receivership. Now, the fourth and final step is to take your attention off of the bills. This is bordering on the woo-woo, but if you've made it this far, it doesn't really matter. The idea is, in quantum physics, whatever you observe is what you create. This is called the observer effect. So if you're focusing on bills, if you're focusing on debt, you have to attract more debt. That's just the law of the universe. So what I'm going to suggest to you is, while you're manifesting the money you need, forget about the bills. Forget about the debt. Forget about owing money to anybody, and realize that debt is actually a really good thing, because it means that somebody or something trusted you to take the money that they are offering to you with the full expectation that you're going to pay it back, and you are going to pay it back. So it's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing. But take your attention off of the bills in the beginning. If you have to put an automatic debt repayment program in, or you've got to make an arrangement to pay at a later date, or you need to borrow the money, just do whatever you need to do in order to take your attention off of the bill. And again, that's where meditation will come in. If you follow this 4-step formula consistently, I promise you that the abundance will be at your doorstep in less time than you can imagine. Make sure to download the Subconscious Reset. It'll really help you get a handle on your subconscious programming. That's going to stop you from being in this loop of lack, and it'll get you automatically pulled to the abundance that is coming to you all the time. Please let me know in the comments what resonated with you most in this video. Let me know if there's any other topics I can cover for you, and I'll see you in the next video.